Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Lisa, your art teacher. Hi! Welcome back to my table of art. Okay, a lot of excitement going on up in outer space. I don't know if you know about this, but NASA and this guy, Elon Musk, they got together and they funded this project called SpaceX 9. And what they did was they launched a rocket ship up into space. And our astronauts are up there right now. I don't know if you missed this on the news, but it was real excitement. So, our astronauts are up there in our international spaceship, looking out into the universe, exploring everything they could see, and learning whatever they can learn. So, in honor of our SpaceX 9 launch into outer space, I would like to do a project with you about outer space. We're going to be using our chalk pastels today. So if you have chalk pastels, perfect. If you don't have chalk pastels and you have oil pastels, those are beautiful too. They're still nice and vibrant. If you don't have either of those, you can use crayons because crayons will still show up, not as vibrant, but they'll still show up on the paper. Excuse me one second. Okay, I've been talking too much. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use our techniques with our chalk pastels to create our own universe. Our rocket is taken off from Earth, going out into outer space, and we're going to create our own outer space. You could create your own planets. You could use the actual planets that are out there now. As you can see, I have the sun at one corner and the Earth at the other corner. So together, we're going to create our outer space. So we'll need a couple of things. I have a large piece of construction paper. Yours doesn't have to be this large. It could be half the size, a regular size. The smaller size construction paper is fine. But if you have the bigger one, it's more fun. So you could have black or blue. This one I did in black, which I'm going to put aside. And the one we're going to do together, I'm going to do on the blue, because it's equally as beautiful when it's done, okay? And you really can use any color. It's all up to you. It's your artistic decision. How do you like that word? Your artistic decision. So I'm going to use blue for today, and I'm going to get my chalk pastels. Clean up my table a little bit. Here I have my chalk pastels, and I'm going to bring the camera down right now so you can see what I'm doing down here on the table. So I'll see you in a little while, so maybe you can still see me. Ah, okay, there we go. Okay, so here's my blue paper, and what I'd like to do, I'll move this back a little bit more because I want you to be able to see my whole paper. In this corner here where we're going to start, I'd like to create the illusion that Earth is here. So Earth is usually represented by green and blue. And the reason it's usually represented by these colors is because blue represents the body of water that covers our Earth, and green usually represents the land that covers our Earth. So I'm going to make a half a circle coming out of the corner of this paper. You see how I did that? And then I'm going to lay my chalk pastel flat on its side, and I'm going to fill this in. I know I'm going to put some green on top of it, so I'm not worried. Look at that, I filled it all in. Now, if you remember our Georgia O'Keeffe, she used chalk pastels when she was doing some of her images of women and ladies with big bonnets, children with big bonnets. I don't know if you remember that. But one of the techniques to smooth out the look of the chalk is to use your finger to spread the chalk out, and that's what we're doing now. We're using the tips of our fingers. As you can tell, my tips are all dirty. We're using the tips of our fingers to give a softer effect on our planet Earth. Okay? So now we're going to take our green to represent our land. Now I have a darker shade of green, so I might use that one. And I'm going to use my imagination to create the land. And I know that North America, the coastline, the Pacific coast, the Atlantic coastline is kind of like this. And then I hit Florida, and then it comes back up, and then we go around the Gulf Coast. And then it goes down into to South America, which now goes down like that. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's a good idea of what the Earth and the continents look like. So I'm going to fill in my land area to represent North and South America. And again, I'm going to use my blending of my fingertip to soften the image of the land. Now, I didn't say this, but this always goes without saying. Always protect the table you're working on. Now, you don't want to blow this away because it's going to make a big mess. So just gently tap it to the side where all the extra chalk residue is going to be to the side. All right, so now we have our planet Earth. And you know what? Now, I can't draw upside down. I'm sorry. I was going to try to do this upside down so you could see. So now, I'm not going to make my rocket yet. Here's my rocket. I'm not going to draw the rocket yet. I want to draw the sun. So let's go into the opposite corner of Earth and let's create our sun. So that's going to be a half of a circle as well. See that? And I'm going to lay my chalk flat. I use the corner to make the line. And now I'm going to lay my chalk pastel flat to color it in. Chalk crayons. And now again, we're going to use our finger to rub the yellow in. If you think you need more to fill in, go back and fill it in. And then again, we're going to soften it up with our finger. I have some of my green left over, so I need to cover it a little bit better. Now, the sun has other colors in it, our other warm colors. Do you remember what they are? We have orange as one of our warm colors. And I'm going to kind of make curvy lines going in to make it look a little bit like it's the sun's rays. Because at the edge of the sun, they say it's like really, really hot too. So this is a warm color, orange, next to my yellow. And look what I'm doing. I'm blending it with my finger, but I'm bringing it down into the yellow. And it kind of makes it look like it's really part of that yellow section instead of two separate parts of the sun. See how it's blending in? I'm going to go back to my yellow because I had too much blue left on my fingers and it's starting to look like Earth. So I'm just going to blend it back. What's another warm color that we could add to our sun? We have orange. We can make it a little darker if you want. We have some orange. And now what's the other warm color we want to add? Did you say red? Very good. I'm going to go to the tips of my points here. I'm going to put the red on the edge of my sun and blend that right into the orange. Okay. You can use any amount of smudging you want. You could even add a little bit more red. Look how nice that sun came out. You can see all the different colors in it. And you can, if you want, look what else you could do. You could actually bring the orange right into the yellow. See how I did this? And then we could blend in the yellow. And we use our fingers again to smudge that all together. This is your project. It doesn't have to be my way. It's not my way or the highway, kids. It's your imagination, your creative decision making. Okay? All right, so we have the sun at one edge of our paper, and we've got Earth at the other edge. Looks pretty good, right? So let's add the universe in between. We've got so much we could add. We got stars and planets. We've got shooting meteors and shooting stars. All kinds of neat stuff that are out into the universe here. So how about we start with some stars? Now, if I made a really big star over here, using my white chalk and the 5-pointed star, and then I made a smaller one over here, doesn't that give the illusion of one being closer and one being further away? That's all about size, using size to show depth in a picture. Okay? So I could use an even smaller star, even though it's right between those two, and I'm just using a dot to represent that star. that looks like it's the furthest away because it's the smallest star. So let's make a bunch of different size stars all through our universe. Okay? Let's keep going, making our stars. Big ones, small ones, dots. And when you make the dots, you can actually make clusters of stars. Sometimes stars are in clusters. See how I'm making dots? Doesn't have to be perfect. Then some medium-sized ones and some small ones. This is your universe. Use your imagination. Create your own stars. Create your own galaxies. There are so many different galaxies out into our universe. I would love to be able to be an astronaut and see all of it. So look how it's starting out, just by using some white stars. Now again, if you don't have these chalks, just use your crayons. Crayons work just as well. They're not as bright as the chalk, but you can still see it. Here, I have my crayons over here. Let me get out my white crayon and I'll make a white star. See that? That's my white star with the crayon. So crayons work just as well. So if you don't have the chalk, don't feel bad. Use your crayons. Most of you should have crayons at home. Okay, how about a fireball, a meteor racing through the whole galaxy and into the space here? So if I was going to make a hot, fiery meteor, what colors would I use? That's right. I'm going to use my warm colors again. So let's start with this meteor. I want it to be shooting. How about it's shooting out to nowhere? Because I don't want it to hit Earth. So let's shoot it out going nowhere. So I'm going to do it down at this bottom edge of my paper. I'm going to make a circle of orange. And I'm going to fill it with some red. Now I wanted to make it look like it's moving. You see how that looks right now? It just looks like a colored circle. I'm going to take the side of my chalk and I'm just going to push it back. Just that little bit gave the illusion of my meteor going down. Now I'm going to take my red chalk and I'm going to use the corner tip of my red chalk and just make some lines. Makes it look like it's going even faster. You see that? And then I'm going to use my finger to blend the orange and red together. So there we go. We got this fireball meteor heading out to nowhere. All right. Now, there's something I like to do when I'm creating my atmosphere. I like to give it that kind of spooky, mysterious look. So if you noticed on this one, I filled it in. And the way I did that was I just used the side of my chalk. So I'm going to use my white one, drop it down so it's flat on the paper, but I'm going to just gently, very gently, brush the chalk against the paper. Ever so gently. I'm barely touching the paper, just to give it that spooky, eerie feeling. Doesn't that make a difference? It almost fills the sky with stars that are so teeny tiny that we don't even see them. We just see a haze of white. So it gives the illusion of even more stars and a full atmosphere and a full outer space of stars. Okay, a full sky of stars. All right, how about we start with our rocket now? Here's my rocket. What shape is my rocket? What shape do you notice? Did you say triangle? That's right. We have a triangular shape of our rocket, and on the side are two fins that are almost a triangle shape as well. All right, so let's start with this triangle here. Now, I don't have gray pastels or chalk, so I have to use black. So I'm going to use the corner tip of my black chalk to create the triangle, okay? And it's going to be a window in the center that I'm going to fill with the black chalk. Alrighty? I'm going to take the side of the black chalk and just lightly brush it across the bottom and the top. See how I filled the bottom and the top of my triangle? because I'm going to use my white chalk now to add some details to my rocket. Here's a little bottom, because there's different parts of the rocket ship and we want to show that. These are the jets that are on the bottom of the rocket. I'm just using lines to create that illusion. On the top is another triangle. I'm going to make that white and fill it in with my white crayon. And you see how it's already blending with the gray, the black, to create gray? And I like that. That's a good look. So now I'm going to take my white chalk and go gently across the black chalk. Now we're going to use our fingertips again to rub the two colors together. If you feel you want to add a little bit more white to create more of a gray, go right ahead. And fill in that whole triangle shape, okay? Now I want to detail around the window, so I'm going to take my white chalk and go around the window, okay? And we're going to do another little line up here connecting the two. So look how that came out. Alrighty? Now we need to make the fins on the side of our rocket. You could choose any color you want. I'll make this one a different color blue. I'm going to come out of the side and make almost like a letter L. One that way and one that way. And then we're going to color them in with our chalk. Shake the excess over to the side. And if you want, you could revisit it with a little white outline to really make the fins pop. And then blend that together. How does that rocket look? Now, how can we make it look like it's moving through outer space? Well, let's make the flames coming out from the jets by making a long line that loops up and around like a cane. Down and up, down and up. And what colors do we use to show warmth and heat? That's right. Red, yellow, and orange. Woo! Look how nice that looks. Red, yellow, and orange. Now don't worry if it's not going through where the earth is, because we already have chalk down there. It's alright. We got our illusion. That's what we want. The illusion of flames coming out of our jets. You see that? Beautiful. Okay. Now, how about we add some planets? I don't know if you know your planets, but there's a whole bunch of big, beautiful planets out in the sky. Out in our outer space. So we have the sun, and we have our Earth. Now I know there's 2 planets in between there, but there are so many more. There's like 12, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw some of our planets in between. And you could create your own planets, or you could do the actual planets if you look them up on the internet or in a book. We still use books. I'm going to draw a little planet over here. I'm going to use pink and purple because I love pink and purple. Now I'm going to smear this together. And then I'm going to add some purple. I'm going to smear the bottom, but I'm not going to smear so much the top. I'm going to revisit some dark pink up here. Now, do you know why I have it nice and dark on this side and softer on this side? Well, look at this. The sun is shining this way. So that's why I want to keep this side of my planet really, really bright and vibrant with color. Okay? But as you go to the back end, it's much softer, where we've rubbed and softened the back end of the planet, because the light is shining this way. So let's do another planet. How about we do, let's pretend that this one is Jupiter. And now we'll do one over here. What color should we use? How about we use green? I'll put this one right here. What other color should we use with the green? Did you say yellow? Yeah, okay, I like that color. Green and yellow, they work well together. Now again, let's make this side really vibrant, and this side will make it softer, the soft yellow. And we'll blend that green in to make that even softer. We'll revisit this to make it nice and bright on that side, because this is the side that the sun is shining on. And then as it goes towards the back, the sun's not hitting it, so it's not going to be as vibrant or dark. Okay? See how I did that? The sun shines, so it's much brighter on this side of the planet than it is on that side. Same thing with this one. It's much brighter on this side than the back end. All right, how about we put a nice big one down at the bottom here, and we'll make this color, we got pink and purple, green and yellow. How about blue? This nice bright blue. I'm making this a big planet. And I'm going to fill this with a little blue. And then I'm going back with this lime green. How about that? And color that in. I'm just going to smear these two colors together. It's beautiful. Maybe we'll, oh, you know what? I want you to try to guess what planet I'm going to make. Just by one simple line. You ready? What planet did I create? I'm going to show it to you so you can see it better. Add a little detail to it. It's coming off the page, so you're only seeing part of it. What planet do you think this one is? Well, if you said Saturn, you're right. Saturn's got that ring around the outside. So let's call this one Saturn. I don't know if Saturn's this color, but in my picture it is. Okay, what else could we add to our universe? How about a shooting star? So let's see, if I put this star over here, and it's a shooting star, I'm going to lay my star, my chalk on the bottom, flat on its side, and bring some streams going back behind it. And I don't even have to do anything else. Look at that. Does that not look like a shooting star? It's going in that direction. Very good. So you could add as much as you want to your universe. Use your smudging techniques. Hold on, I'm going to bring this back up so you can see Miss Lisa before I continue talking to you. Okay? Use my helping hand. See my helping hand? Doubles as a back scratcher. It's my helping hand. So, this needs to be filled in a little bit more, but I think it's beautiful right now. Add some more planets, add some more stars. Outline your stars in yellow. Be creative. Add as much color as you want. This is a beautiful picture, and this is a beautiful honor of our SpaceX launch. It's a really cool thing that happened, and I really hope you saw it on the news because it was very, very exciting. Just imagine, they're in outer space. They're looking at all the stars and planets right there. That must be the most beautiful thing. I wish I was there. Well, that's it for today, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed drawing and coloring your outer space. And, oops, learning about the launch. Sorry, my computer got stuck. I hope you enjoyed learning about the SpaceX launch. Some people don't even know about it. So now I taught you. So this is it for today. Miss Lisa saying goodbye. And ciao for now. Oh, look at my fingers. It looks like little invasions, Martians invading from outer space. So just remember, always keep art in your life. It's good for your soul. It's good for your spirit. Keeps you happy. Use your imagination. Always remember, if you can get outside, let the sun shine on your face, go for it. Go out in nature, smell the fresh air. See if you could create something from nature. And no matter what it is that you're making or doing, if there's any way you could save it for me to see it or send a picture, I'd be so happy, because I really miss seeing how creative and talented you kids are. So that's it for today. Ciao for now from Miss Lisa's Table of Art. And until we meet again, always know that I miss you very much. And I'm going to see you soon. Don't you worry.